gotta say, I really enjoyed Locke and Key. The last few episodes especially, I just felt like I was like, oh my god, what? No, this is crazy! Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today we are talking about the first season of Netflix's Locke and Key. Adapted from the comics by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez, Locke and Key follows the story of three siblings who move into a house filled with reality-bending keys following their father's murder. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on Locke and Key. What I really love about Locke and Key is that this is a dual story. We're following these kids on this exciting journey discovering these magical keys that open up endless possibilities. But at the same time, we're also following this family that is grieving and struggling to exist without the father in their lives. I think each character goes on this tremendous journey throughout the season. Kinsey feels like she's a coward. Tyler feels like maybe he's the one that did something that caused his father's death. And then I think Bodhi is just a character that you kind of get to see like the magic of the keys through him a lot of the time. Their mom Nina feels kind of alone and like maybe she's not a great mom. The mom is dealing with a relapse of being an alcoholic, and there was one really heartbreaking scene I thought when she found the cabinet that could fix things and she tried to put her husband's ashes in there. Oh my gosh, that was whew. That was emotional. That was definitely like a really raw moment. And over time we get to see them change and kind of get into a better place. It was a very consistent drumbeat, which I appreciated because I think sometimes shows might introduce, you know, a big plot point like this and then not really deliver on it. But I think each episode, each character really continued to go through things and push through to grow. I really think they did a great job kind of exploring grief with these characters. I think that the way that the story unfolds, everything feels very like paced well. I never felt bored. I never felt like, whoa, this is going so fast, there's too much happening. It felt like very solid in its pacing, in the direction it was going in. Visually, the show is beautifully done. The house in general, Key House, is gorgeous. Like, wow, imagine living in a house like that. There's probably a billion rooms. They had a lot of cool like drone shots showing kind of the area. Got this cute little fishing town, and then there's this big looming house on that hill that, you know, just feels like a classic story, a classic little mystery. And that's another thing I really enjoyed about the show, the mystery that's unfolding and the way they went about it, because they give us a lot of like flashbacks to things that will then kind of tease what's to come. The very first scene of the episode, we get the answers to that in episode 9, and I love that interweaving of storylines and, you know, figuring out mysteries and realizing that there's something deeper going on, especially that mystery of what really went on in the dad's childhood and how that all connected to what was going on now. I just think that they seamlessly weaved all that together and in a very clear way. I mean, we gotta talk about the keys. This is such a cool premise that like this family has this legacy of magical keys. I think they kind of hint a little bit throughout the season of where this sort of came from, something with the Revolutionary War and their family, and I'm hoping that if we get a second season, which they really set up very well to be honest, that we will get to dive more into that and maybe more into the history of what these keys do together, why there's so many of them, where did they come from, why were they created, why are the locks the ones that can protect them, and also what is the Well lady's plan, why does she want all these keys. Throughout the season she has solidified herself as a big villain, but I still don't really know why she's doing what she's doing. I'm sure, like, you know, power, but you know, maybe there's a little bit more of a reason that they'll dive into, like maybe being able to unlock the Omega door and bringing out all her demon brethren or something. And it was also interesting to see how they set up sort of the laws of these magical keys, where it's just kids that can use the keys, and as you get older you forget about it, and that there's some adults who were able to do something to help them remember. You know, in the mom's case, even though she doesn't remember these magical things that are happening, when she drinks, it kind of, I guess, maybe loosens her mind enough where she can comprehend the magic. So, you know, they just were adding different elements like that that I thought were really interesting. I think if I could choose any keys to have, I would probably want the Anywhere key, because I mean, you can go anywhere. And I'd want the head key because I think that you could do a lot of really great things with that. Open up your head, throw in pretty much any book in the entire world, and you'll just like be a genius and know everything. That'd be pretty awesome. What keys would you guys want to have? I'd love to hear. Leave a comment down below. And I think for the most part the special effects were really awesome. You know, I think the keys really open up an opportunity to do so much, and I really enjoyed everything that they did with those, from, you know, the way that they introduced Bodhi as a ghost to being able to see inside everyone's heads. There were also a couple of cool like camera tricks that I really enjoyed. There's a moment where Dodge and Kinsey are both opening the same door door, but obviously Dodge has used her magic key so they can walk right through the doors and not even pass each other. There was also a lot of cool camera work in the Crown of Shadows episode. On the other side of things, there were a couple of moments that I didn't think 100% worked, mainly just because it felt a little bit like oversights. Like, for instance, you know, Kinsey and Tyler are going to school every day, and it feels like Bodhi doesn't go to school. He just is always looking for keys. So, you know, just like little things like that felt like an oversight. And then just in general, at times I thought Kinsey got a little bit too reckless. And I get that, like, towards the end of the show, we got to see this group of friends come together to become the keeper of the keys in a way, just like Rendell Locke's friends back in the day. But I did kind of feel like, man, Kinsey, why are you showing these keys to everybody? Why can't you just keep this as a secret with your family? Because, you know, obviously now she brought Gabe into the mix, and we know Gabe is not who he seems. I do want to talk about the twist and ending of this season because I think that it was really awesome, and they set up season 2 to go in an incredible place and just really keep that momentum going. So there will be some spoilers here as we sort of like just talk through it and explain a little bit of what was going on. We find out that Rendell Locke and his friends were the keeper of the keys back in the day when they were young, and you know, it was a lot of fun. They had a great time exploring and using the keys and, you know, diving into all this magic. And they found the Omega key, which opens this huge black door that I think goes into what looks like another dimension. Out came these light bullets, and one of them hit their friend Lucas, who then was sort of possessed by this demon. They had to kill him because he killed their other friends. It was a very tragic event. They had to cover it up and say that it was a drowning, but, you know, really, it was this demon that kind of started all of it. Years later now in present day, one of the former friends, Ellie, really misses Lucas. He was her high school sweetheart, and she just still is not over it. Her life isn't where she wants it to be. So even though as the friends got older and they decided we're not going to use the keys, we're just going to protect them, she decided to use one of the keys that she was holding on to, the Echo key, which kind of allows you to see, I guess, echoes from the past. And she ends up bringing back Lucas, but it's not really Lucas. It is a demon in his body. That same demon that they killed so many years ago. So this demon, who we'll call Dodge, now has access to the identity key, and they're able to change what they look like to trick whoever they want. So Dodge ends up tricking Bodhi once they move into the house to get the Anywhere key, and once they have that key, now they can go anywhere in the world. They don't have to stay in this well house that they've been trapped in. Now that Dodge is free, she's on a mission to get all the keys, but you know, as the Locks are the keeper of the keys, she can't just take it from them. They have to give it to her. And so she's trying to trick them in different ways and scare them into getting the keys for her. We also find out that she is still pretending to be Lucas and is living at Ellie's and basically blackmailing her into doing things to get the keys as well. Everything comes to a head in the finale when Dodge gets access to the Crown of Shadows. The kids fight her off, and they think that they've defeated her and knocked her out, but I mean, it was pretty obvious it wasn't really her. She's way more powerful than that, so I kind of saw this one coming. Dodge had used the identity key on Ellie to make her look like Dodge. They take her while she's knocked out down to the sea caves with the Omega door, and they toss her into this, you know, different dimension or whatever it is that's in there. And I knew it was too easy. I was thinking in my head, okay, either Dodge is just pretending to be knocked out so that they can bring her down there, and then she'll like pop up and grab the key from them and do whatever she wanted because she was looking for that door to begin with, or it's not really her and it was really Ellie in disguise. What I thought was really great about this finale is that they made it seem like, well, the family is happy, they're gonna stay in town, the threat's over, and everything seemed very like calm and peaceful. You know, they can start their regular lives now. Except Dodge is still out there. There's more secrets that they are not aware of. People that are disguising themselves and trying to infiltrate their group. And that I definitely was not expecting. So we end up finding out that Gabe, who I will admit was a character I was a little bit suspicious of in the beginning, but then I was kind of like, oh, he's just like a regular guy. Nope, turns out he is Dodge in disguise. And when they opened up the Omega door to throw fake Dodge, aka Ellie, in there, one of these demon light bullets hits Eden, and so she is now going to be possessed by a demon as well. We see this really great parallel scene at the very end that's similar to the one we saw at the very beginning of the season with Dodge, where she's just like eating all this food all crazy. And it's clear that if we get a season 2, which I really hope we do, that they're going to be setting up something where Eden and Gabe are going to be a demon team kind of sneaking in underground to the group and sabotaging things and eventually, you know, being revealed as demons and trying to get those keys. So I was not expecting that. I think it's a really great premise, especially because now these two characters who didn't have huge roles in this first season are going to be able to really step it up in the second season and, you know, kind of be those big bads. So I'm excited to see that happen. I'm wondering if they're going to be able to actually separate the demon from Eden in a way that can save her. Gabe, I think, is Dodge putting on a fake face, so, you know, hopefully they can remove Dodge from the Lucas body, which is what she's been using as her home base. I hope that we get to find out, you know, what exactly is Dodge's plan? Why does she need all these keys? Is there like something that she'll be able to do when she has all of them? I also think the character of Sam that we met that actually killed Mr. Locke, you know, we see him become a ghost through the ghost key, which, oh man, that was another crazy scene where, you know, he probably could have honestly survived and just gone back to jail, but instead he used the ghost key, became a ghost, and before he could come back to his body, they took it. So, that was insane. But it makes me wonder also, is this character now going to come back again? Because he is a ghost in that door, so, you know, if Bodhi were to go in there, would they find him? Would he be able to help them in some way? I'm hoping that he kind of comes back in season 2 and maybe realizes, like, the mistakes that he made and is able to try to make up for that and actually help the Locke family. I gotta say, I really, really enjoyed Locke and Key. The last few episodes especially, I just felt like I was like, oh my god, what? No, this is crazy! And I love how they kind of wrapped everything up and were like, okay, this is the story. This is everything that you need to know. You know, we backtracked to things that happened in the first episode. We basically just got answers for everything, which I really appreciated. Like, we got answers, but we also now have things to look forward to for a season 2. The show was really magical, it was fun, we got to go on a really great journey with our characters and see them grow and change so much. The mysteries were great, and I just love how they seamlessly weaved everything together in a story that just felt very succinct, felt very polished and put together, and that I think really, you know, was very satisfying to watch. If you like this one, you can check out more of my Netflix reviews right over here, and I will catch you in my next video. See ya!